There will be blood. Now, we had heard this coming from a lot of the big players in the office market towards the end of last year, when the surge in interest rates began colliding with the ongoing questions about the office building as an asset. Owners were having a lot of trouble refinancing, and investment sales had fallen off a cliff. But apart from a few examples here and there, we hadn't really seen much large-scale distress hit the office market. Was it just a matter of time? It turns out it indeed was. This year has brought distress to the door of some of the biggest players in the office market. Not your mom and pop landlords, but those with giant national portfolios. This week, Columbia Property Trust, which is owned by PIMCO, defaulted on $1.7 billion worth of notes on 7 office buildings in prime locations including New York, SF, and Boston. Now, the mortgages had what's known as floating rate debt, meaning that the monthly payments would vary based on interest rates, and those have obviously that followed a default earlier this month by the mighty Brookfield, which defaulted on 2 prime office towers in downtown LA, which had nearly $800 million worth of debt on them. What triggered the default is interesting. Brookfield opted not to get the required interest rate protection for the loans on one of the towers, which set off the default. We believe Brookfield's decision to default on these 2 assets increases the risk for the remaining portfolio, Barclays said in an analyst note. Meanwhile, in New York, Scott Reckler's RXR is in talks to hand over 2 buildings to its lenders. And the macro of it all is really worrying. Issuance of new CMBS, which is commercial mortgage-backed securities loans, have plummeted 85% year over year, according to an analysis by Bloomberg, which means that it's going to get very hard for owners to refinance their buildings, even healthy buildings. And a lot of the buildings may not be worth fighting for. A new Cushman & Wakefield report estimates that 330 million square feet of office space in the US could be redundant by 2030, as hybrid work will push US office vacancies to a record 1.1 billion square feet by 2030. What does that all mean? I guess it means that there will be blood, a lot more of it. Let us know in the comments below what you think.